It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Corey Theodore, the President of the Curry College Student Government Association. Corey is a senior biology major with a minor in English, and he is commencing his second year as our SGA President. Corey Theodore.
Good morning, class of 2017, and let me begin by welcoming you to your new home. Believe it or not, I know exactly how you feel. 3 years ago, I was staring up at this stage as you are all staring up at me now. I remember it clearly, the feeling of uncertainty and doubt, of hope and fear of things to come. Just like you, I appeared to be sitting calmly, quietly listening to the speakers the college had selected to fill my eager mind with knowledge and wisdom that would guide me on my journey for the next 4 years. And just like you, I pretended to listen. I have absolutely no recollection of what they attempted to say to me. And it is for that reason I decided to speak to you today. Let me paint you a picture of what I remember 3 years ago. On the outside, I looked like I was ready to conquer the world. Inside, I was a very different story. I was a swirling cocktail of emotions, both good and bad. Here I was in this gym, living away from home for the first time, completely on my own. I was terrified. I had absolutely no experience of a college classroom, and the start of classes was quickly approaching. Could college really be the monstrous eternal hell all the high school English teachers say it is? If there are any of you in a similar situation, if you're worried about your preparedness for this day, I want you to do yourselves a favor. Take a deep breath and relax. You've got this. You are more than prepared enough for this next step in your life. Today marks the start of a new you. I promise that in 3 to 4 years, you'll be looking back at this version of yourself sitting here today and chuckling about how different you are. How much you have grown as a student and as a person. You'll wish that you could go back and tell this version of yourself all that you have learned, all that you wish you knew right now. I'm honored to be in front of you today for this reason. I have the rare opportunity to share with you what I would have wanted to know 3 years ago. I have to admit, I struggled to figure out exactly what I should tell you this morning. What could I possibly say that would make your lives here any better, or at least a little easier? So I did what every person in our generation does when they have a problem to deal with and need advice. I turned to my parents. Just kidding, I looked it up on the internet. I'd like to share with you now some of the heartfelt and priceless advice to first-year college students found on the World Wide Web. Number 1, don't wait until you need a plunger to buy one. Number 2, wash your bed sheets more than once per year. Number 3, just because you have access to pizza and french fries every day does not mean you should eat pizza and french fries every day. And my personal favorite, stop drooling and go talk to her already. Believe it or not, I wasn't very pleased with what the internet had to offer. As a result, I was left to fend for my own. It was then that I realized there was plenty of advice I could give you. I could tell you exactly how long it takes to get from one side of campus to the other in both sunny and snowy weather. I could tell you where you should sit in almost all of the classrooms on campus. I could tell you which servers give you the most generous portions at dinner, or which soups are worth elbowing people in line for. I could share with you the best place on campus to read a book outside, or the best location for an impromptu wiffle ball game. I can tell you where the best place on campus is if you procrastinated a semester's worth of work and need to do it all in one night. I can tell you where to eat if you're feeling social or if you don't want to be bothered. I can tell you which residence hall is supposedly haunted by the ghost of a pregnant nun, or which ones are the least likely to get you caught doing something against the rules. Not that I would know. I can tell you which bathrooms always smell, which are always spotless, and where the best places to go are. I can tell you when the best time to get the machine you want at the gym, where you want to go if you need to add or drop a class after the first week, and even where all the administrators' offices are located. I could share with you which professor threw a chunk of ice at a uniformed NYPD officer, which one will admit to having a poster of Lady Gaga hung upon his bedroom wall, and which is known to break out in song every few classes. I could even tell you which professors give out candy, and yes, even as sophisticated students of higher education, you are allowed to love candy. But I won't reveal any of this information. I could tell you all of this and more, and yet what would I be doing? Would I make your lives here any easier? Probably. Would I be making them any better? Absolutely not. If I told you each of these things, I would be robbing you the joy of learning each for yourself. No one told me which paths get more slick than others when it snows. I had to slip and fall on an ice patch, slide down a hill in blue jeans, and sit through a 2.5-hour lecture with a soaked rear end to learn that lesson. I had to suffer through late warnings during snowy weather and less than generous portions of chicken nuggets, just as you will. It even took me 3 semesters to find the professors with copious amounts of candy. You must learn these lessons on your own. Experiencing college life for yourself is how you discover who you truly are and how you end up a better person in 4 years' time. However, I will offer you some advice. 2 things that I wish I knew 3 years ago. Firstly, I know you've heard it before and will no doubt hear it again, get involved. This could mean anything from joining student government to being active in a club or simply raising your hand to volunteer and answer in class. Don't just step out of your comfort zone, run out of it. You'll be surprised at what happens. Make a complete fool out of yourself every once in a while. It builds character. Lastly, don't be afraid to reach out. There's a line around this campus we like to mention very often, for good reason, and it's this. The word college derives from the Latin collegium, meaning a coming together. You are not alone. If you are struggling with an issue, ask for help. Even your professors are willing to help you. If you don't understand something, ask questions. And keep asking questions until you do understand. They're human, just like you. They know they aren't perfect, some of them do, and will be more than willing to lend a helping hand. I'll leave you with this. In a few years, your time at Curry will be a story that you tell your friends and family. Why not make it a good one? Class of 2017, I wish you the best of luck, and I know you will make us all proud.